Hello everyone. This is basically my first video. I didn't know if I should make this or not, but at the end I chose to make this video. But anyways, the main purpose of this video is just to chat, mainly about my goals in life and just a checkup. So anyways, let's just get into it. So the first subject I want to talk about are my goals into this channel and just life in general. My goals for this channel are to at least get enough to 100 subs. I'm not the type of person to ask my subs because honestly, it makes me feel like I'm being greedy. So I rather just earn subs without asking people to. I also think, in my opinion, I think about this a lot. And no shame to people who do this. But shouldn't people just let others just sub? To YouTubers without the YT asking for subs. Like, think about it, you want people to sub to you, naturally, and most people sub, because they like a channel, I think, at least. But I don't know, it's just I've always thought about. I'm just not the type of person to ask for subs, and it's a promise I'll never ask for subs. I want people to come to me because they like what I post, not because I asked. Subscribe to me. But I get it why people don't ask them maybe to grow their channel. But yeah, I have nothing really left to say for this part. Anyways, to the next subject, into my goals. So the main reason I made this channel is actually because I want to do 3D animations, or 2D, doesn't matter. And I also really want to make a 3D movie, like a real 3D animations movie. And if you're wondering why 2D animations, it's because I've always admired animations that were either 3D animations or 2D animations, even gacha.life animations. I have no shame saying that the people who work with gacha life bringing their imagination to a game is actually really cool, and I want to do the same. Don't you ever get lost in music and imagine fake scenarios regarding animations? I do every time. And now it has made me determined to make animations, like bringing my fake scenarios to animations and sharing them. But in meantime, I'll just keep posting what I post now, and if you're confused why, it's because I want to focus on my mental health. First, before I take that step and do animations, I have my laptop I have an animation program on there ready to start making my movie, so once I actually find peace and happiness, I will gladly start the process. But now for my other goals, which takes me to my mental health. I want to find peace, as I said before, and happiness. I have been struggling with mental health since 2024. But since this year, I have been feeling better. I've found friends that keeps me going, good sleep for the most part. I've pushed all the toxic people out of my life. And since then, I've been feeling good. Knock on wood. Before 2026, 2025 was a struggle. I had anxiety. Somewhat nights it was so bad, I had to take some stuff to make me relax or be on call with a friend. I remember one time during 2025, I had went to a concert to the band Ghost. I love their music. But that was my first concert, and I was extremely overwhelmed. At some point, I went to the bathroom because I was panicking. But after that concert, when my dad and I went home that night, I did not sleep. I'd forgotten to take my sleeping meds, so I stayed up all night, panicking. I never felt so suffocated, but around 5 a.m, it clicked to me. I completely forgotten to take my meds. That's why I couldn't sleep. So, of course, the first thing on my mind was to take them, and I know it's a stupid idea. I learned my lesson, but that week my anxiety went to the roof and stayed that way till 2026. And reminder, I went to that concert mid-year, so dealing with the cycle that never seems to end is exhausting. But anxiety was not the only thing. Besides that, I was and am still dealing with depression, but it isn't as bad anymore. And to end off this subject, I want to say to the people who might see this, that may be struggling, you are not alone. I thought I was, but look at me now, I'm in a good place. and you can be too. I'm proud of you and everyone who are watching this. But now I want to talk about just stories that I have that are interesting. Starting off maybe 0.5 years ago or more, me and my family, all of us went to the mountains and stayed in a small cabin. We weren't alone because more cabins were around us. But sometime, we went up to the mountains, even higher to a place that was supposedly haunted. And my aunt and I, we wanted to try and find Bigfoot. I know sounds dumb, but we got a big tree branch and started to hit a other tree, making sounds, and I guess that's how Bigfoots communicate. My aunt and I just didn't believe anything was gonna happen. But before we gave up, we saw a big black figure that was tall and looked fluffy a little. My aunt and I were shocked, but the figure then got crouched, moving a huge tree branch, a branch that cannot be picked up by a human with one arm. And before I knew it, everyone ran to quad the car, and I was behind everyone because I can't run fast. But I remember that day vividly. Anyways, to the next story I have. So around in the mid of a town near me was the small land, and in the middle was a chimney. No house was there, just one. Red chimney. It had to be there for at least 30 years. But maybe 2 years ago, they tore the red chimney down, which made me sad. Because I did like it, but the house is really pretty, where they replaced the red chimney with the house. But I remember that day when I was with my mom in a car, and I looked at the house. And through the window, I saw a little girl in my vision. A little girl. I thought she had a white gown, I think, and she just looked very lifeless, like she had eyes. But she just looked directly at me, and I know I just see things, but I know someone was there. But I could just feel that was not a human. It was a ghost. But anyways, what a nice story, I guess. I don't have anything else to say for this video. I know it's short, but I don't have anything else to say. I hope everyone has a good day.